Hello and welcome to my first lesson. It is Introduction to Angular. In this lesson we will learn what actually Angular is, how to learn it, install work tools, create first project, run first project. Let's dive into it. Angular is TypeScript-based free open source single-page web application. TypeScript means you need to learn TypeScript. Open source, you don't need to pay money. And single-page web application framework, I will explain in more details. First of all, do not confuse with AngularJS. It's different framework based on JavaScript. Traditional page lifecycle, traditional model, it's when you have server which actually returns HTML. So initial request return HTML. Changing data and posting some form returns HTML. Changing page actually returns HTML. So every request returns HTML and reloads page on your client. It's traditional page lifecycle. Single page lifecycle, slightly different. You have HTML server. You do initial request to HTML server. Receive HTML with all JavaScript. And then from your browser, you do request to API server to change data or receive new data. And all subsequent actions just refresh your page on your client. So I hope it is clear where Angular is here. Angular is just compiler from the TypeScript code to JavaScript code, which is deployed to HTML server. In our example, our HTML server will be our machine, and compiler and deployment will be in one cycle and will do automatically. I hope this is clear. Next, we will look in some features of the Angular. It's component-based in architecture. All components can include different components, data binding. It supports two-way binding, so from the page to your code and from the code to your page. Dependency and injection inject services into your code. Directives, which allows to extend HTML additional attributes. We will learn deeply in next courses. Routing includes a router that allows developers to define and manage application states and navigation path. Navigation path is just string in your browser. Angular CLI, command line interface, provides set of tools for creating, building, testing, and deploying Angular application. We will start using it right now. Server-side rendering. It's a bit advanced concept. Let's leave it. So actually, what component is? Component is some code, and template is your page consists of some elements. Event binding means you click, change, do something, and component reacts on it. When it reacts, it changes some properties, and property binding reflects these changes in your template. Injection of the services, some services which do some work, background, or requesting server can be injected in any component. I understand it's not so clear right now, but in future you will understand all these concepts by examples. Okay, let's dive into second part. How to actually learn Angular. I recommend you do test examples. Do many test examples and read and do again test examples. What resources we can use? It's Angular dev site. It's quite handy. It have playground. You can play here with Angular code. It have documentation. You can read it. It will be your guidebook for the future of learning the Angular. It have good search here, and we will use this for our examples. Let's try to install development tools. First of all, we need to install nodeJS. Let's find it. nodeJS. Well, download nodeJS. It's for us. You can do download and install, and here are the different ways to do it. But we need pre-built binaries for Windows. You can download it and install with default option. It's not hard. We need Angular CLI next. Let's find it. Angular CLI install. Well, here we have old site, but we will learn on the new. You need to go. Do not confuse old version CLI 17 with the new one. We need to visit new site. Local setup. How to set up it? Actually, we will need command line interface. Copy the command and go to terminal. On Windows it's command cmd. And that's all. Next we need Visual Studio Code. It's useful editor. You can also download it for free. Download. For any system. You can download and install with default settings. Next, we will look how to create first project and run actually first project. Let's go to tutorials and do it by tutorial. No, tutorial, we can do it actually by tutorial, or we can do it in our environment. Let's go to command line interface. In here we can create some project folder and go into it. Some Angular folder. And here we can create actually our first test application. Let's do it with some command ng new test. This command, it's Angular command, or yeah, it's Angular command, will create first test application for us. We need to decide what style sheet, classical, static site rendering. We actually don't care, no. And it's created. Let's explore structure. Projects, Angular, first test. Actually, here is Angular stuff which need to compile our JavaScript application, which can be deployed actually. But we don't interested in it. We interested in src folder. How to open it in our editor. It's very fairly simple. First test, code, point. Point means current directory. Yes. But we actually need src. Okay. Out of src directory is extended topic. For now, we just concentrate on the code itself. What we have here? We have index, it's root index HTML, which actually we can see in the browser. Main type.ts, TypeScript file. It's TypeScript. You need to learn TypeScript. It's some settings, some boring settings, not interested for now. It's our root style sheets. And here is actually application. Spec.ts, it's testing file, we can delete it. Component, it's our component, root component class. Let's call it app root. Configuration, routes, and so on we will learn in future. Here is our actually component. We don't need this stuff, we only need a router outlet. And CSS of the component. This is the structure of the component. How to run it? Let's put some stuff here. To understand, it's our application. Let's go to CLI and do this magic command npm start. It will build for us, compile application and make this server. Let's run it. Beautiful, it's our first application deployed to our local host. Thank you very much.